Hi, I'm Aimee, and today I want to talk to you about one of the biggest mistakes I see people make when they're doing genealogy research, and that is county boundaries. Now, I'm talking here about US research. It probably applies to other locations as well, but in all honesty, I don't know them. I know the US. So let me tell you a little bit about what I'm talking about here. Records are generally held in the county in which they were created. And so as we move back in time in the United States, you need to know what county your ancestors resided in. And the mistake that I see a lot of people make is they either don't know that and they think that they see their ancestor maybe in all these different counties and they think that something's wrong, or that they've moved around a lot when sometimes they didn't move at all. The county just kept dividing. Or sometimes they just don't realize that there are records to be found in the previous counties. They're only looking in the one county that the family talked about. Let me be a little bit more specific. So when I say records are held in the county in which they were created, what I mean by that is if somebody purchased land and it was in one county at the time that they purchased it, and then the county divided, and then they ended up selling it 20 years later, and now it's a different county, you're going to have deed records in two different counties. You're going to have the deed when he purchased the land in the original county, and then you're going to have the deed where he sold the land in the county that was divided, that was created at a later date. And so that's really important. The same holds true of marriage records, of some birth and death records that are held on a county level, court records, tax records, wills, deeds. So many records are held on a county level. And a lot of times people don't know where to find them because they're looking in the wrong place. So you want to look at records in the county in which they were created. So the knowledge of when a county was created and where it was created from is super important. If you were born in a particular county that is now a different county, in order to help people understand what you're talking about, you're going to be describing it by terms that they would understand today. In other words, you're going to be using the name of a town or a county as it is called today. So a lot of times this really hooks people up. The other thing too that is important to remember is that sometimes, even though somebody resided in one particular county, they may have gone to another county because it was easier. Maybe there was a river between them and their county courthouse, and there wasn't between them and the adjacent county or even the adjacent state. So we need to be a little bit more fluid when we're looking at things. So how do you know if your ancestor lived in a particular place? How do you know where to look? I'm going to give you some really quick, super fast ways to find that out. But first, let me show you a little bit better pictorially because that's how I am. All right, I love this website, mapofus.org. There's some ads that are on it and stuff like that, but I really like it. You can go down to different states down here, or you can enter them in at the top. Like if I were to do / Virginia, then I'm going to automatically go to the map of Virginia. So let's just take a look here at what I'm talking about. And again, this is a free site. There's lots of ads. But what I want to do is to draw your attention to this right here. There's so many years of formation of Virginia, right? Virginia split, all these different things happen. And so that's why I wanted to use this as an example. So let's say your ancestral family lived in Virginia. Well, what you need to do is here you see a map. And here it is in 1617, and here it is in 1643, and here it is in 1653, here it is in 1720, 1780, 1824, 1903. Now we have the separation of Virginia and West Virginia. Do you see what I'm talking about? It's changed so much. So you need to know what county was previously the county and when that change happened. I use this site a lot to just look at things because visually it helps me recognize. And I know you see all these little abbreviations here and you're kind of like, what do all those mean? If you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see the different abbreviations and what they mean. And we're not just talking about counties here. Like I said in my earlier example, we had West Virginia being created from Virginia. Kentucky was not one of the original 13 colonies, and some of Kentucky's records are held in Virginia. So it just kind of depends on how things created and how we expanded westward. So keep that in mind and be kind of fluid in the way that you're thinking about things and know the history of the area that you're researching. So the way that I quickly find out the county formation is I could just run a Google search. Now I could just type in, when was Madison County, Virginia created? And I'm going to probably get some kind of page that tells me that. But I actually prefer the FamilySearch Wiki pages because of all of the other information that's in them. You can go to the FamilySearch Wiki pages through their main page, and it looks like this. And you can either narrow it down by clicking on North America and, hitting the United States and then hitting Virginia and moving down that way. You can do that. And then click on one of these counties. You can do that. That takes me too long. I don't like to do that. Let me show you another trick. If I type Madison County, Virginia here, and then I see this drop box, then if I click on that, Madison County, Virginia genealogy, I'm going to get to this webpage, which is the one that I'm really looking for. And I'm going to explain this webpage to you in a minute. But to be honest with you, I don't do that. I just go to a new Google page or whatever search engine that you're using, and I'll say Madison County, and I'll just put Virginia, VA, and then I type the word genealogy, okay? And within the first 3 results, you're going to see the FamilySearch Wiki page. There's also a genealogy page that the government has. Great, that might have something really interesting that I might want to look at, so that's awesome. But I want to take you to this Wiki page again. So on this Wiki page, there's a couple of things that are super important here. One, it gives you a description of kind of where it is. It tells you where the county courthouse is and their phone numbers, which can be very helpful, especially when you're doing early American research. But I'm looking at these record dates. I'm looking at when they started collecting these records. I'm looking at record losses, but the boundary changes that we're talking about right now are right here. This is the bread and butter of what I'm talking about right now, okay? So the parent county was Culpeper County that was created in 1793. All right, so if I am looking for any record, let's say somebody lived in Madison County and yet they lived there in 1790, their records are not going to be there for the most part from 1790. Now, occasionally I will see a deed registered or something else put in to the county after it was created. That does happen occasionally, but don't count on it. You need to go back to the original county. So if I'm researching in the 1700s, I want to be looking at records in Madison County, but I also want to be looking at records in Culpeper County. And again, there's these links to this interactive map of Virginia formation history. That's the Map of Us page that I just told you to, as well as some Virginia historical boundary changes. These links will take you to other places that can give you other information that can be really helpful for you. But let's go back to this. So I'm at these boundary changes and I see this Culpeper County. If I click on that, then it opens up this page for Culpeper County. And I scroll down to the boundary changes and I see that Culpeper County was formed from Orange County in 1749. Now, this all may seem like really far back and way before you care. But if you're researching in the Midwest, there were tons of county changes in the 1800s and some even in the early 1900s. So you want to know how to do this. You want to know how to be checking for other possible counties for your family. You want to be looking at records in those counties. Now, you can get around it by just, let's say, doing a search of a particular state. But sometimes that's way more than you want. You want to be narrowing it down to a particular location. You're going to get better search results that way. So my tip for the day, know your counties. Know what counties your family lived in and when those counties changed, because it's going to open up a whole new world of genealogy research for you. So your family history is going to be get better with this little tip. This is a common mistake. If you didn't already know this, don't feel bad. You are not alone. There are a lot of people that don't know this. So subscribe to the channel for some more hints and tips. And I'm so grateful that you watched. Please like this video if it's been of help to you. And here are some videos for your viewing pleasure. Binge on those today. Have a great day. Thanks.